The second Lisa's voice sliced through the air above Willow Lake, her jet ski vanishing beneath her like some botched Vegas magic trick. I knew I'd just witnessed the most glorious 20 seconds of payback I'd ever get in this life. She was out there thrashing around in the middle of the lake, mascara streaks cutting through her Lake Queen visor, clawing at the water like it owed her something. My jet ski gurgled once, just once, and then slipped away into the green depths, leaving Lisa stranded in a scene so over the top I half expected theme music to start playing. The look on her face, raw, shocked, just dripping with the kind of embarrassment you can't shake off for years, man. You don't get moments like that handed to you often. Especially not when the whole HOA board, a couple of gossipy neighbors, and even the mailman are all standing on the shore, jaws hanging open, just taking it in like it's the Super Bowl halftime show. That was the climax. But you know what? Let me back up a sec, because you got to understand, this didn't just come out of nowhere. 2 weeks earlier, life on Willow Lake was pretty much a Norman Rockwell painting. Neighbors waved, kids built sandcastles. My jet ski with its blue trim and barely there electric hum was kind of the talk of the dock. What nobody really knew, except maybe my dog if he paid attention, was that I'd spent a year modding that thing. GPS, kill switch buoyancy controls, even a little sync protocol I wrote myself, all tricked out for security, and honestly, a little pride. This was my lake, my refuge from everything else. But then, oh, you could feel it coming. Lisa got herself crowned lake safety coordinator, and suddenly the whole place felt like summer camp with a drill sergeant. Lisa, she didn't just show up, she arrived. Megaphone, laminated rule sheets, sunglasses so big you could see your own soul in them. Every week some new decree about proper paddle etiquette or which pool floaties counted as approved by the HOA. But her real target wasn't floaties or fishing or noise after sunset, it was anybody who stood up to her, especially me. It started with this community enhancement plan she'd cooked up, total power grab, thinly disguised as neighborly concern. She wanted an HOA-branded canoe rack bolted to my private dock. I said as nicely as I could that I'd rather staple my own hand to the pier. Her smile went cold, and from that moment it was on. Yellow violation notices started piling up. Disruptive pet noise, I have a goldfish. Ecological damage from propane use. My grill hadn't seen daylight in a month. It was almost funny until she started threatening the HOA ethics panel. At that point, I knew I had to play it smart. So I faked a trip, parked my car at my cousin's, tossed a bunch of photos on social media, mountain views, fake sunsets, the works. Lisa, who stalked my Instagram like it was her job, totally fell for it. Meanwhile, I holed up in my cabin, eyes glued to a couple cameras I'd hidden around the boathouse. Saturday morning, 9:17, like clockwork. Here comes Lisa, looking like a traffic cone and a wetsuit bolt cutter swinging. She snipped my lock, whistling like she's starring in her own cartoon, peeled back the jet ski cover, and without a glance at the big fat property of Ethan Cole plaque, hopped on and peeled out across the lake. Honest to God, she was waving at everyone, buzzed past the kayaking club, almost flipped. Mrs. Larson and her poodle tore up the clubhouse dock, even spooked a bunch of little kids floating on a giant unicorn. I watched from my phone, sipping coffee, waiting for the grand finale. You see, I'd coded a little surprise into the app, a 3-step payback plan. First, I disabled the engine. Right in the middle of the lake, the thing coughed, stalled, and left Lisa dead in the water. She jammed on the buttons, yanked the throttle, started shrieking for help. The neighbors. Nobody moved. Phones came out. I watched her panic build. Honestly, it was almost art. Then came phase 2 ballast deployment. The jet ski started tilting, water pouring into the hidden chambers. Lisa screamed, stood up, tried to wave her arms, but the thing was wobbling under her like a rodeo bull. By now, people were chuckling, the camera mics picking up every laugh. Finally, I hit phase 3 full sink. The jet ski glided under the surface, silent as a submarine, leaving Lisa splashing and sputtering alone and totally humiliated. The HOA paddleboat had to go drag her back to shore, her towel-soaked hair stuck to her face, ranting about sabotage and lawsuits. I sipped my coffee, watched the 4K footage from every angle, and thought, yeah, that's justice. But if you know Lisa, you know she wasn't about to slink off quietly. By sunrise the next day, there's a handwritten violation stuck to my front door, accusing me of aquatic endangerment and digital terrorism, demanding $7,500, signed with her new HOA Aquatic Oversight Director title. I laughed so hard I nearly spilled my cereal. But I wasn't playing anymore. I called my lawyer. I showed him the videos, her breaking and entering grand theft jet ski, the whole circus. Officer Delgado from Lake Patrol watched the tape and nearly choked on his donut. He logged it as theft, trespass, public disturbance, case closed, or so I thought. But here's where things got wild. The dive team I hired to fish my jet ski out of the lake found something chained under the HOA dock, a waterproof case stuffed with algae-stained envelopes, each one labeled with dates, names, fines, some obviously forged or backdated. There was even a burner phone memory card still dry, filled with texts plotting out nuisance complaints against residents, including me. One of them said Ethan's tech mods are a problem, next citation needs teeth. Another said they'd claim my jet ski was abandoned if I didn't comply. It was all there, a paper trail of Lisa's little empire. My buddy, who does digital forensics for a living, pulled the whole memory card and we turned everything over to Officer Delgado. He went pale. Suddenly, this wasn't just HOA pettiness, it was fraud. Lisa doubled down, blasting a newsletter around the neighborhood, accusing me of unauthorized watercraft experiments, demanding my dock privileges be revoked. But the neighbors were done with her. The HOA inbox blew up. Some folks even started organizing. A local reporter caught wind, ran a story called The Lake Tyrant and the Sunken Ski with a screenshot of Lisa mid-splash. Comments poured in, people sharing their own run-ins, their bogus find stuff, like cited for excessive stargazing or flower pots, not HOA approved. You could feel the mood turning. The big turning point came at Lake Liberty Fest, a community event I organized right around the time the jet ski resurfaced. Food trucks, kids laughing, and this was the best part, a floating screen looping Lisa's meltdown for everyone to see. Before the party, I stood up, jet ski shining next to me, and I showed the crowd the chained case, the burner phone, the texts, the fines. Gasps, then muttering, then a slow build of applause, not because they liked drama, but because everyone finally saw the proof. Lisa predictably didn't show. Next morning, the HOA inbox had her resignation letter claiming personal growth. Yeah, right. The board called an emergency meeting, residents clutching old fines and screenshots ready to talk. Officer Delgado came by, officially opening a fraud investigation. The board froze all fines, dumped Lisa's fake title, and called for open nominations for new leadership. Folks shared stories: a veteran fined for his flag, a mom cited for chalk drawings on her own driveway. It was like the dam broke and suddenly everyone could breathe again. Reporters dug into Lisa's past, found she'd pulled the same stunts in other towns. Her little empire finally crumbled. My video went viral. The jet ski became a legend. Kids wanted to take pictures with it. Parents started calling it the submarine. I even ran a lake safety workshop for the neighborhood, teaching kids about emergency protocols, using the infamous jet ski, of course. Laughter filled the air, the kind you get when the villain's gone, and the story actually ends the way it should. One day I got a letter unsigned, just a note. Hope you're proud. Yeah, I was. Not for the views or the drama, but for finally forcing everyone to wake up and push back. Willow Lake started to feel like home again. Solar lights lit up the shore. The community built a new dock funded by neighbors, named it Liberty Pier, hand-painted sign and all. It wasn't about Lisa's downfall, not really. It was about what we built after. The lake's calm again, but every now and then when the wind is just right, I swear you can still hear a faint echo, someone shouting from the middle of the water. This isn't over. Maybe it isn't. Maybe these battles just come and go, but at least now we know how to fight back. So what do you think? Was that justice, or did I go too far? Would you have done the same or just let her win? Drop your thoughts below, because out here, justice is a team sport, and I've got my popcorn ready.